Thanks for joining me again. Now this time I'm not going to bother wetting it all over. I'm just going to see what happens really. So I'm going to start off just popping a bit of raw sienna up there and just a bit down there like that. It's going to be like a river scene, this one, I think. Bit of ultramarine up there, and then a bit of alizarin crimson, Payne's grey, just a little bit of cloud, and then that's all really. Something like that. It's all really you can see of the sky. So, distant land, bit of raw sienna, ultramarine. Could be hills and mountains there in the distance. Just put it there just so it cools up that little bit of white. That's all it's going to be there. And then on the left hand side, just a bit of land visible there, and then clean the brush, and I'm going to go into lemon yellow, and a bit of Payne's grey, and we're going for a sort of dark, really sort of rich coloured green. That's sort of trees on that side. Clean the brush, take the excess off on the tea towel, lemon yellow, and down here we got some starting with some light greens down there, and then a bit of blue, and then mixing some dark greens, lemon yellow, Payne's grey as we get further up this hillside on the right hand side. A few trees up there. Just popping the trunks in here with my fingernail. Just resisting the temptation to completely overdo it. So I'm just going to clean the brush and get back to a lighter, clean the brush properly. Back to a light green, bit of Payne's grey in there, not Payne's grey, raw sienna. Make it over there, something like that. Lemon yellow, then ultramarine, and then lemon yellow, Payne's grey, really strong. Quite a few shadows in this bit now, so it's gone really dark. See the odd little trunk amongst it. That's a bit dark here to scrape in, so I'll do that in a bit. A few rocks on this shoreline, so I'm just going to go get a raw sienna, burnt umber, ultramarine. Let's get our little rocky colours in. Burnt umber, ultramarine. Yeah, just working that across, just onto that distant bit. And once I've got that in, I can scrape a few rocks in. See if I can scrape that in it. Yeah, see, because it's dried slightly. See the difference? That's when it filled straight back in because it was too wet. When it's about half dry, you can then scrape in. I don't want to go over the top. Next, find my little piece of card, just a little plastic card, and then some big rocks down this side. Again, it will need to be half dry, otherwise it will just fill straight back in. You'll get it with practice, just keep practicing. And obviously you're going to get smaller and smaller as they go further and further round the river bend, which is what this is there, and it's water's going to come flowing down. Big rock there. That's enough rocks, I think. There's going to be a few more in the foreground, so I don't want to get too balmy. Clean the brush, and put the water in next. So the water is basically it's a reflection of the sky and the surrounding elements, which are going to be these trees. So bit of raw sienna, ultramarine. You can obviously see the green in there reflecting from the tree. So I'm just going to start off here. I'm just going to sort of dib and dab, and basically what I'm doing, you see the sort of blue water's going in, but it's just hit and miss, and what it's doing, it's creating lots of white unpainted bits, and they're basically the sort of surf of the rapids as the water's being bashed about all over the place by the rocks and all that sort of stuff. And it's just tap, 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 tap. And then put round here, I'm just adding a bit of lemon yellow, just so it looks like the trees are reflected in the water. See all those unpainted bits there, it just looks like all the surf. A bit more blue. And then when you get fed up with tapping, just go and just sweep it straight in. Now we've got a few rocks on this side, so I'm going to go into my rock colour, which is basically a bit of blue sienna, burnt umber, ultramarine, and coming down like that. Big rock up there, and what I'll do is scrape out a bit once it's in, just blocking the main section. Just alternating between the sort of raw sienna, burnt umber and ultramarine. Just blocking it in really. And then take a piece of card. In fact, first, paper has stretched slightly, so I'm just going to pull it tight and re-clip it so it's flat against the plywood. And then try this left-handed. I think we want the light to sort of catch. You might have to do it left-handed. It's coming from this side. See, that sort of comes over. along like that. Yeah, let's just see this side there. It just sort of gives it that rock sort of look to it. How's that looking? And then if you've done too much scraping, you can always just go over the bits you don't like. I'm just giving it ultramarine, and any bits you don't like, just go straight over them. A bit darker down there because we're sort of in shadow right there. This is all shadowy area, so I don't really want any highlights in the water around there, because there's not much swirling of the rapids going on. It's just dark in that. I think I'm pretty much there really. All that remains to be done is pop a little birdie. I'm just going to go rose, burnt umber and ultramarine. I'm just going to stick a bird. Don't know if it's that dry, I'm just going to stick my hand in it anyway. It'll create a bit of texture anyway. It is wet. Oh, it is a bit wet now, not so wet. That'll do, it's a little bird there. And last but not least, stick your name in the corner. Not right in the very corner because you won't see it then when it's got a mount on. So I'm just going to stick mine here. I'm going to call that one finished. So let's see what it looks like with the mount on. There we have it with the mount on, so let's go and have a closer look at it. Start as usual with the sky there, not really much sky happening here. The raw sienna, ultramarine and the clouds put in with the alizarin crimson and Payne's grey mix. Then the distant land here, these hills, put in using the same colours just to help with recession, push it far back. And then just in front of those you've got a few very distant trees here. I put it in the trees here on the far bank. Try to vary the greens here from the lightest section right here, sort of lemon yellow, raw sienna, right next to the darks, just to help create a bit of interest. Scraping in these trunks with your fingernail, you see different drying times there. You can see when it goes in at just the right time is when it comes off. And then if you put it in a little bit too early, it just fills straight back in again. But then it helps, it makes it look as if it's further back in the woods, a bit more secluded. So it just creates a nice contrast really. If you just put it in at various times, this one looks just about perfect time because you've got sort of highlights on the one side and sort of shade on the other side. And this far shore, you can see all the rocks just scraped in using that corner of that piece of card, and obviously they get smaller and smaller as they go off into the distance and around the bend. The river sort of flowed around this corner, then you can see just putting it on in a sort of dabbing motion and then just leaving all these unpainted bits of paper. It helps, it creates the effects of the rapids and the white surf on the water. And then just adding a bit of lemon yellow and whatnot to the mix just helps create the illusion of the sort of trees being reflected in the water. In the foreground there is just a mass of rocks just blocked in, and then just use the same piece of card again then, just to help create those rock effects. You can see you do get a nice effect because this is cold press paper, which is not as rough as the rough paper, but you can see how some of the paint, you don't quite scrape all the paint off, so it gives it that sort of nice rock textured look without even trying really. Flying into the trees with our little bird up in the sky. You can see if you just pick one area, it only has to be one area, it doesn't have to be very big, just one sort of really light area that contrasts with the nice, with the rest of the darker shadowy parts. Just really helps keep it interesting. Well, thanks for watching. Keep practicing. Any questions, please ask, and I'll see you again soon.